Oi, oi. As somebody said in the chat, we are live. It
There we
is
go. Let me open it as well.
3:38 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:38 BST in the UK. It is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam, Joe, and Jermaine.
Hey.
He has decided to join us today. God help him. He must have not a whole lot going on in his life because he decided to pop in and hang out with us for a few minutes. So sorry about that, Jermaine. My bad. I know.
Yeah,
Of course, we're
I'll
cool
send
guys.
you the bill afterwards.
Right.
Don't
Yeah, we
worry.
had to pay. Yeah, sometimes you got to pay things, and so we're live, and we are bringing it to you all here. Oi, oi, as Dan would say. Welcome to the chat. So it is Sunday. It's very warm here in my neck of the woods. How's the weather been this summer? Is it been unseasonably warm in the Netherlands there, or is it just a normal summer, or a little warm? Like what's been going on?
No, it's just like the last 2 weeks. It has been warm, maybe 3. It's basically the same with Joe. We share a lot of the weather. It's when it's shite there, it's shite here.
Yeah.
And we have the same kind of building styles where heat keeps captured in the building itself. So when it's hot, it's really hot and humid. So
sounds
typical.
Sounds not pleasant.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, and then that is another time for another channel on what's causing that. Is it global warming? Or is it just hot? Or is it we all just a little bit, who knows? I don't know. That's another topic for another show. We're here to talk about phones and tech and
It's all the Snapdragon phones heating hold up.
Right. It's all the Snapdragon 888 processors that's basically heating the world. Not the iPhones. They don't have enough power to stay. They don't stay long. They don't have enough battery to stay on long enough to heat everything. I'm just kidding. If you have a 13 Pro Max, you do. This has some battery life on it. So, so Jermaine, what's the current phone you're using, and what are you working on right now as far as phone? I know you always are in some videos and concepts, and hence the name. So, what do you got in the pipeline that you can talk about next couple of weeks, or what do you got now?
One I cannot talk about, of course, but one is the OnePlus 10T.
Okay.
It's of course the newer Professor X. I screw you then.
Yeah.
It's the OnePlus 10T. It's their latest device. That's the current one that I'm testing. So pretty much that. I have somewhere.
Sans the alert slider. So how you feel about that controversial move? Apparently that's like I think the end of the world that we don't have an alert slider, but okay, but whatever.
The thing is, it made OnePlus unique, right? Having that alert slider, it made them different, and now it makes them more of the normal phone of every other phone. Well, basically, it already is, even with the alert slider. Don't get me wrong, but it's just something that OnePlus users like. Therefore, I feel like it's a weird choice to remove something like that. With that being said, people are being overly hated towards the move, and I don't necessarily agree with that. If you look past those things that they miss, like not having USB 3.1 and the alert slider, then of course the 2-megapixel sensor that shouldn't be on the phone anyway. It's actually quite an excellent device depending on what you need. It has better antenna bands for instance, for you, Sam. It has more reach. It allows for faster download speeds. It has 360 antenna array. Basically, it means that on the back, you also have, in the middle of the frame itself, you also have antennas, which allows for a wider area to actually reach your phone itself. So if you're playing a game, for instance, you just have this part that can still properly connect to the internet, right? Then it has, of course, a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which makes this phone blazingly fast, and it doesn't have the problems that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 has. And that it doesn't heat up that much. I can easily put several benchmark tests on it and just don't have any issue with it. It gets a little bit hot, but not like the previous generation.
Right. Also, and what I have seen more is the testing of the battery charging, which is
rapid.
I don't even know how to even describe it other than just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's like clown shoes ridiculous.
It is.
That's what the T stands for, turbo.
What?
Well, yeah.
The T stands for turbo.
Yeah, true.
Sure.
It's really fast. It's really fast.
It's built for performance, isn't it? Basically.
Sorry?
It's built for performance.
Yes, it is. Yeah, without a doubt.
Most OnePlus devices are built that way. I mean, to be fair, not the Nords, right? But the regular OnePlus, all the way from like the 3, the 3T, the 5, the 5T, the 6, they were built with the thought in mind of having blazing fast.
Basically, the OnePlus 10T is more of a OnePlus than the other OnePlus devices because it gives you the latest chip, the fastest chip, with a compromise in terms of camera. It was more of a compromise with, of course, the older OnePlus devices where it was just not good compared to the flagships. Now it's, acceptable. But when it comes to the OnePlus 10T, I think it's more for OnePlus compared to the others when you look at the base of it, like having the latest SoC inside of it, and then just having a really fast phone with everything else, apart from, of course, the camera we have sacrificed. So in terms of that, it actually is more for OnePlus.
They always have great
screens. Sorry?
They always have great screens. OnePlus phones always have great screens, don't they?
Great screens. Yeah. You were cutting out again. I was like, you said what now? Yeah. And honestly, this has a great screen as well. It doesn't have the best screen, neither does the OnePlus 10 Pro, but it has a good screen. It's a fine display for the price itself. And like, for instance, people compare the OnePlus 10 Pro with Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which is like 1,300 euros, which makes no sense because the difference is like 500 euros, right? So don't compare those.
Are you saying that? People was doing that with 6A versus S22 Ultra. It's like, what?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Not even in the same...
No, it's not in the same price bracket. It's like, it makes no sense at all.
Well, I mean, and honestly, it's written right now. The narratives with any device, I don't care what it's a 6T, the 6A, the 10T, any phone that comes out, Pixels. Everybody's going to try to either cross compare them to whatever device you have, even if the comparison's not realistic, and they're going to find something to bitch and moan about. Like it's like no matter what. I honestly, these engineers at these companies go, they're probably just at the point where like, fuck it. Like, let's just put out something that we like to do, because every time we turn around, somebody's like, they don't like the alert slider. They don't like the 60 hertz screen. It's like, I don't understand what don't buy the damn thing. I don't understand. It's like, or have a conversation that's unique about it, or have a conversation where you can just disconnect from it and go, yeah, I have a Duo 2. I realize it's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with, I don't like the Duo 2 well enough to go to war and emotionally fight for this thing. Like, I don't work at Microsoft. Like, I really don't care.
Are you sure?
You don't like it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't get a check from them. I'll tell you that much. If I work for them, I'm doing it for free, which is probably not a great idea. But the narrative just gets to the point where now it's like, no matter what happens, people are going to flock to Twitter, or they're going to go to wherever, social media, and they're just going to find a reason to hammer whatever device comes out. It's
100%.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. And I guess it's in a way, it's kind of, it keeps the ball rolling when it comes to conversations, and it comes to, then it becomes, it's like bad press is good press, right? It's something. But at the end of the day, it just gets so, like, I'm just waiting for, like, when I saw the alert slider on the T, I'm like, okay, here we go. That's what we're going to hang the hat on. We're not going to talk about screen or battery life or whatever. We're just going to hang on this alert slider. And it's like, well, then buy a 10 Pro.
Look who's in the chat.
Yeah. Ditcher of fish and chips.
It's Roger.
It's Roger, live attack. There he is. I haven't figured this out. So that's the only thing I have. And it looks like everything about the phone is fast. It's like the processor's fast. It's good connectivity. The screen's pretty good. And the only compromise is camera. And if you're not really a big camera person, well, then fine. Then it's okay. Then but you're compromising on a way lower price point than the 10 Pro. So,
which actually also came down in price. But, then you have the argument of having better antenna arrays for someone like you, Sam, where it has better coverage because of that. Right. And then, it really depends on the person itself. Yeah. But it really depends on the person itself, right?
Right.
I see a lot of tech community right now, as you said, hating on the phone before it's released, having an opinion about it. And I am one of them, depending on what the conversation is. Like having an alert slider missing, I disagree with the approach of it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna get all mad about it or passionate about it or something like that. I'll wait and see how the phone is, and then give a proper judgment. I will keep coming back, of course, with not having a 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro SD, because even more so now, when you look at an image or a video that you record, those files taking more and more and more and more space. So a micro SD makes even more sense now than when it did, of course, with the phones back in 2016 or whatever. But with that being said, I'm not going to go around on a rant on Twitter about an alert slider or something like that. There are genuine conversations about it, but you cannot have that on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I had the Nord N200 I just picked it up for cheap and I had it for a while. It didn't have an alert slider either, and it really honestly didn't bother me. I remember thinking to myself, yeah, it kind of sucks. It's nice when OnePlus phones have that alert slider because I do like it's handy. You can reach in your pocket, just right.
Yeah,
but it didn't, and that's okay. And I still had no problem using the phone. The camera wasn't very good, and it was like, but it was had a little bit of stuttering problems. It wasn't the best processor, but for what I guess I spent like $189. I mean, it wasn't a bad deal. I would have easily given that to anybody. For most people. So it's a shame. And so I actually want to leverage that into a conversation about just, I guess, what you do. Do you have an opinion or do you have a crystal ball about what you think, what this mobile space is going to look like in 5 to 7 years? Currently with like brands and OEMs and all this stuff with, the Nothing phone coming out and another company trying to get into the mix, Apple's continued dominance. Here we are, another game with the cycle. Like what are we looking at a possibility that it's really going to be down to just 2 or 3 OEMs in the future, or are you?
What you're allowed to talk about is crystal ball.
Yeah,
I have a ball somewhere, but I forgot where I left it. I actually do one of those things that mirror the. Anyway, when it comes to that conversation, I think if you ask me 3 years ago when Huawei was still a part of it, right, I would have said without a doubt we will see changes coming up. Now, though, not so much. I still think we will see the trend that we currently have. Samsung and Apple basically running the game itself. And then we have, of course, Xiaomi, OnePlus, and all the other brands below it, which is a shame because, like I said, with Huawei, without a doubt, we would have seen a change because Huawei was great competition, and competition makes phone brands think about other options, think about how they can approach it differently, and so on. Look, for instance, with Samsung. When Huawei was really competitive with Samsung made great phones. They made better phones than they do now. Right now, they're quite lazy. With the S22 Ultra, for instance, it's basically a reuse of their Note, right? The Note 20 Ultra. And the Fold, for instance, wasn't meant to come out yet. But because of Huawei, they pushed it towards, of course, first the testing group and so on. But it pushed Samsung to continue more with innovation and so on. And because of Huawei, I doubt that because of Huawei not being a thing anymore with Google Play services, of course, I doubt that we will see any major changes in 3, 4, or 5 years. I think it will still be very similar, and every phone will be very similar in style. And we're going to have the same argument about, well, every year update doesn't make sense anymore like it did in the past. Yeah. Just maybe more folds, but.
Yeah, in the foldable category, like I said, we're they may be a Surface Duo 3, and there actually talks about still having the 360 degree, but have one screen. Right, they're going to find a way to actually make it completely fold on its back, which that makes me a little nervous. I'm not sure if I 100% want that. And then you got like all the other foldable categories, and it's a shame too because, like I said, we were talking offline. I actually have my Wing, so just got a security update. Literally just
wait. I got to join the party now.
Yeah, see. So yeah. But I mean, like, so you see companies like LG, it's like, have this Wing and it's definitely unique, right? Yeah, there you go.
And now turn it.
Yeah, turn it.
I'm winging it.
Yeah,
you are definitely winging it. There you go.
Right.
Definitely winging
it. He's gonna flip
legit.
it.
It's a Pixel 6 ring.
Right, he's gonna basically flip it.
Well, look at
yeah, just have to glue them together with like duct tape or something. It's fine. It's whatever. But like I said, it's just a shame that none of these manufacturers really aren't going to be able to push anymore because the competition and the need to differentiate is going to kind of be not there. I mean, like I said with Huawei, and I think Huawei's already kind of in trouble anyway in the United States and globally. But I think the latest tensions between the United States and China, you may see some fallout that actually may spill over into the tech space from that. There may be some stuff going on with that. So who knows? But it's just a shame that, like I said, I would like to try the Nothing phone here in the States, but if I'm on AT&T, even if I were to import the phone, or even if they had a global version of the device, I wouldn't be able to use it because they're not going to whitelist the phone. And it depresses me the fact that American carriers can do that and can basically exclude Xiaomi and Oppo and Vivo and Realme and all these other companies, and it just doesn't give you a choice.
It makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah,
but it's probably to keep Apple on a certain level.
Right. Well, and then I think that trend will continue. I think Apple will continue to either maintain or grow their dominance in the United States. I don't know what the amount of dominance as far as handhelds in the U.S. as far as Apple. I know it's pretty heavy, and it's going to grow, and I just think that's the way it's going to be. And I have a little bit more of a pessimistic look at it. I think it's going to be pretty much in the United States, at least. It's going to be Apple and Samsung, and mostly Apple, and that's just the way it's going to be. You'll have some Motos here, and you'll have some spattering of other, more cheaper, budget-friendly devices. But that's it. You'll just have budget. Samsung offers A12, A51, those kinds of phones. Question.
That's a good question.
And sensors will be the norm for flagship smartphones. Oh, I think they might be the norm in the next 2 years, much less. I think, they're going to keep pushing that.
But to be fair, it really depends, because look at how long Samsung stuck with the 2.56, I think it was. So it was
3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, they stuck with that for a very long time, even though we had larger sensors already. I do see it happening for Chinese brands quite a lot. Yeah. The question is, will it happen for Samsung and Apple? That will take longer, I think. Maybe it will be in like 5 years. But with Samsung and Apple, especially Apple,
maybe.
It's questionable.
Apple's going to be the outlier. I would say that it's possible you never see it on an iPhone, unless they have an iPhone like a Pro, like a legitimate, like a Pro device that they try to market. A legitimate Pro, not just saying it's Pro. Like just But I think Samsung would get in on that, especially at the Xiaomi's and the other Oppos and the Vivos, and if they get in on it. Yeah, I think so. Sony.
The rumors are the new 14 is going to have, or 14 Pro is going to have a 15 megapixel camera for once on the.
It's going to have an update, yes.
Yeah, probably about time. I think that's
a larger sensor at least, but
we'll see.
At the end, they are rumors, and we'll have to wait and see. But if they do update it, again, they're going to stick with that kind of size for quite a long while, I think. And I don't see them upgrade it for, a lot in terms of that.
So, Jermaine, are you working on any concepts at the moment, or are you just more on doing tech videos at the moment?
Not at the moment. At the moment, the thing is, the mobile industry is quite boring. So designing just a phone that you're going to see like next year, like the Samsung Galaxy S23 or S24 or the new Apple or whatever, it's boring, right? So I did some designs in the past where I thought, okay, this is going to be a bit different and so on. But honestly, with the interest towards concepts being basically images and people just having an attention span of 20 seconds or so, like, it's not worth it anymore, especially if I spend 300 or 400 hours on a video. It's not worth it. Right. If I do a concept, it probably will be a console.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I was going to say, how long does it take you to do? I can imagine it takes a long time.
The longest one, I think 500 hours. If I take a really short one, it's about 100-ish. But then I'm just doing it quickly,
Yeah,
quickly.
That's a lot of time and
just doing it quickly.
But and here's the thing, and if there's anybody in the chat who hasn't, and if you haven't, shame on you. You need to check out Jermaine's channel. I mean, some of the stuff is just like, they're like, it's like legitimately
both channels.
Yeah, channels. No, I'm sorry, channels. But yeah, his concepts, like when he does the videos, especially around the mobile, they are phenomenal. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, some of the stuff looks like it comes from a high-end PR department. I mean, it's really, really good. So,
well, for that, I still need a lot of work on my lighting.
Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of people who watch those videos, who really don't dissect them and get really into it, like if just a regular consumer would look at that and go, if you told them that was made by just a private person that really is just good at stuff and not great, doesn't work for a large company with lots of resources and stuff, they would be like, I couldn't tell the difference. I mean, it looks really good to me. That's all. Now, people like us who are a little bit more discerning taste and kind of can really nitpick and stuff, you might be able to see a difference, but I still think they're fantastically well done. I mean, it's definitely worth the $500 as far as the product. I mean, time ROI versus time, probably not. However, the product is there's a lot to hang your hat on. So that's nothing to sneeze at. Let's just put it that way. It's pretty good. So, Joe, have you had the Nothing phone for a bit? So you've taken some pictures. Yeah. How does it so far? I mean, I guess week long, 72-hour. I mean, I don't know exactly how long have you been using it. What do you think of it?
I've only been 2 days. I've put my SIM in it.
Okay.
I like it. It's quite a nice on there. Nice and slick, 120 hertz. But I hate where the fingerprint scanner is. It's so low.
Oh, the
I
optic.
come in from my Pixel where it's middle of the screen.
I hate that.
Look how low it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not good. They
Yeah,
wanted to
I
make
hate
it center with the camera and, of course, whatever's on the left side.
Right. Yeah, I think that it should move up a little bit. But like I said, or I don't know if it was a Vivo phone. I can't remember the one. Didn't they have one that had like a large?
Yeah, but that's
like the bottom third of it was like no matter where you went, it wasn't just like a thumb spot. It was like the entire bottom third was like you could just touch anywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit less, but
yeah.
You had the Qualcomm Gen 1 ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, and the ones that are on other phones.
Right.
Like for instance, the Nothing phone is a camera basically, so it's a very small area that allows you to scan. With the Vivo X80 Pro, it's about this reach because right now the battery is empty, so about here.
Okay.
And you can like slightly press outside of it, and it still somewhat recognizes it. But the ultrasonic it's a larger area that it allows to work with a 2D fingerprint scanner. You're never gonna get that.
Yeah, no, I just like the fact that you have a large area to work with, so you don't have to really worry about. Well, if I miss it, it's not too low. I like the spot. Actually, on the wing, it's actually in a pretty good spot. It's kind of like, I guess.
Yeah, it's on a good spot. It's a little bit too low, but not too much.
No, it's
just like the fraction.
And I still wish that I still have all the things in this wing. I never care for these power buttons and these volume. I just don't like them. They're too small and they don't have enough tact. Like the power button doesn't have a little. I like when power buttons have the little tactile feeling. So it's like it's got some abrasion on it or something like that where you can feel it.
Yes,
your touch. I just think that's a nice little design touch where they like on my old HTC phones was the same way, right? Oh, except for the U12. That was always
the U12 is a questionable design choice when it comes to those buttons.
Yeah, those pressure sensitive buttons, they were just I can never get into it.
No, it's just a stupid design.
Yeah, I hate it. But on the 10, especially like the HTC 10, that having the button, you could definitely know that your thumb was on the power button. It was like not mistakable. I still like
case by Ringke. The Ringke Fusion X case has a nice feel to the power button.
Yeah, I think that's your way around it, right? Getting a case that actually has a different texture.
Has a texture to it.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, but the case that you. Sorry.
Oh my god! You almost like. Oh.
With the LG Ring, of course, you have that case that you have with it is free at that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I mean, I guess they could, if there were a lot more case options, which there probably won't be. They probably would have something that would really kind of cover that. But I mean, really, you don't essentially have a case. You just have this basically clamshell because you got to let the thing.
What color version do you have, by the way?
I don't. I guess you call it black. It doesn't look black. It's kind of like almost like charcoal, I guess is kind of the color.
I have this one. Can we?
Oh yeah, no, I wish. No, it's kind of like the Huawei P30 Pro kind of Xiaomi kind of look to it. It's got that pearlescent, I guess is how you describe that kind of look. Yeah, it's just black. That's okay.
That's fine. Honestly.
Yeah. And this is the AT&T variant, so I don't know. Is that the one you have is a global? I assume it's a global. Or
it's one that I should have returned 2 years ago or something.
Oh, that's okay. They ain't asking for it now. I'm pretty sure that you're probably okay. What happened? You guys closed up shop? Oh, you did? Oh,
I couldn't reach you anymore. So
I tried to call you, but you guys disappeared. I went to the shop and it was just boxes and dust and like the carpet was all dirty and like nobody.
Pretty much.
So I'm like, so we're good, right? Okay, see you. Bye.
Yeah, it's pretty much on the box itself. Right.
Yeah, and so and then somebody made a comment earlier, and I don't know how you agree with that. Oh yeah, see the box, winging it, not for sale, right?
Not for resale.
Stole it.
Not for sale.
No, he did steal. So
that's a difference.
Dan made this comment. That's why I want to catch on this. He said Sony Smith smartphone cameras will replace DSLRs within the next few years, which is an interesting. I don't think so. I think that'd be nice if they'd like to, because they can get on the inside track of that. But I don't know if they would replace properly. Do you think in 36 months phones would replace DSLRs? Maybe some phones, but I can't imagine most phones in general.
It depends on the customer, right? Again, it's really a state of customer. Like, I love photography, and I know that I can take great pictures with the Vivo, with the Xiaomi, with Sony's. but they do not compare to, for instance, mirrorless cameras and so on. It's not even close to a competition there. Compact cameras, like Dan said, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
there I can agree with. But when it comes to just full sensors or even smaller ones, yeah, they're not going to be replaced by phones.
Right.
Not in the long run, I
Yeah,
think. Unless we get phones like.
Yeah, and Dan's right. I guess he clarified. He's like compact cameras are dead.
Yeah, those are that. Yes.
And then Scoop, like I said, that's another person you should check out. We had Scoop on a couple of weeks ago, and check out his camera work is great, and he can tell you 100% use case. Like it depends on what you are trying to do. Clearly, he made comments about using it in certain situations, but really for what he's trying to do, which is essentially professional photography work, it's not even close. What are you doing?
I don't know.
What was that? Is it like
it's a glass
cup or something? Was it glass?
All right.
What was that? Joe, what did you have? I just all of a sudden it's like I couldn't see your pretty face. I just saw this.
Does that work? Is that how
it was a cool light.
Oh yeah, it's a Coors Light. That's what Joe's gonna do. He's gonna be out there going, yeah, I got lenses. Watch this, bitch. I was like, no, it's a Coors Light glass, and you're just putting your phone up to it. He's like, well, it's the same thing, right? Yes, Joe, it's the same thing. It's okay. We just pat him on the head around here. We just let him go.
On that note, if moment lenses, Jermaine.
No, I don't have any. I think it's only for iPhone, right?
Oh yeah.
No, in the moment, brands, but I think they do Android as well. But I've never used them myself.
Do they?
I've been interested to, but
I thought they
have
were
an Android
only
version?
Apple.
I didn't know if they did. Maybe they did. I'd kind of check it out.
No, they do Pixel. Send us a few. We'll have a look.
What?
Yeah.
As if they're listening.
Yeah. No, exactly. I've seen them on the iPhones. They look pretty cool. But I think I saw them on Juan's channel. I think he had someone I'd seen him. He was using them on stuff like that. So I know. I mean, me, and again, I might be different, or maybe I'm more of the standard consumer. Phones are okay camera wise. I mean, I don't take a whole lot of pictures. I do occasionally. Like I took some today. You saw the ones from Joe. I sent you from. I was just at the course, and there was like a kind of fountain.
Gcam.
Yeah, it was the Gcam port on my Duo 2, and I just sat there in my golf cart waiting for the other person to take a shot. I was just like, again, but it was broad daylight, lots of sun. I wasn't trying to get too in depth. It does okay, but like I said, I realized that if I was obviously one of the best camera possible, the Duo 2 wouldn't be obviously the platform to use. That's not why I'm using the Duo 2. And again, just like Scoop says, it's all in case.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
I got a good showcase of difference actually. So this is a shot that I made with my Sony. Probably is going to be visible. This is with my sorry, not Sony. This is with my. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. You turn the brightness
it's
down.
Hard to see.
If you turn the brightness on your phone down a little bit, you can it'll be a little better.
This I took with my. There's a lot of depth to it, which is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
that I took with my Lumix, right? My full,
right.
Yeah, and this I took with my Xiaomi. It's a good phone camera, but the shot itself, it doesn't compare at all. Like no.
Yeah, and I think anybody who's going to be taking some serious pictures like Scoop or any kind of professional photography or even amateurs, they're clearly not going to be probably trying to rely on just a phone. I mean, unless they're trying to be taking stuff that maybe is going to be like social media worthy kind of stuff. But anything they're going to be trying to do, they're going to need the depth. They're going to need the different lens. Different lenses, different approaches. It's just again, it's kind of like it's different use cases, and so I like to see that. But here's my problem with the phones, and that is the driver. Is photography. I'd like to see phones doing other things other than just this constant push for photography. Like that seems to be the only thing that these companies are like, well, we have to get a phone that takes way better pictures than the last phone, right? And I realize that that's what sells, right? And when they're on TV and the Pixel, look what Pixel does. I mean, it talks a little bit about Magic Eraser, but never talks about like live transcribe. Really doesn't really talk about call screen. It talks about live tone. And pictures. And but by the way, it takes really great pictures and it takes really great video, and you should get it because it takes great pictures. And and I wish that they would do other things than just like battery technology. That's what I really would like to see I realize that's a long ask, but I think that's why they're getting. To me, phones are just going to get because we're just talking about camera upgrades. That's really what we're talking about. Screens.
Yeah, but that's mainly the thing that you can do right now.
Right.
So I was interrupting you, Joe.
Yeah, and that's sadly what people want to see. Sadly, that's what people want to see. So, like, not everyone knows about pixels. But when I tell them about it in my store, I say, "Oh, do you know about pixels? Do you know about a magic eraser?" They go, "Oh, yeah, I've seen that." So they don't know what a pixel is, but they know what a magic eraser is.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just marketing. They want to see photography-based things.
Yeah,
it's important.
And I get that. And like I said, again, it's not like I'm saying that should be ignored. I think we should always be striving for better picture quality. And I'm glad because, I mean, take a phone from like 2015, for instance, like an Android device, and then take a picture with it. I mean, just I mean, you can clearly see that it's. I mean, I will tell you though that the other day I pulled out my Lumia 950 and my 1520 just to kind of turn them on and kind of mess with them for a bit. Took a couple of pictures with the 950 and it still holds up okay. I mean, it's not, again, I would not say it's something you should be taking any pictures with, but that's an old device in 2015 and it still holds up okay. I mean, I've seen some pretty recent Motorola cameras that don't do as well, and that's the Lumia still holds up. I have to admit, it's not again.
It also again it depends on the person as well, right? You can have the greatest hardware, and if you suck at photography, the image is gonna suck.
Right.
Even if you have good camera, it doesn't necessarily mean you will have a good result, right? So it really depends. Some phones in the past, like Lumia's, could take great pictures even today, but it really depends also on your patience because they are slower. And if you want to get a good result, then without a doubt, you need to use, of course, manual mode. You need to use the pro mode on those phones because they're not going to do well in auto. But if you have the time for it, those phones can still take good pictures. It just takes time.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do miss Lumia camera. You know what I miss more than anything on the Lumias? I like the circle when you pull up I like the interface.
Oh yes,
where you take it, and you just slide the phone out, and then it was like all the concentric circles. You just that
very cool.
I still think that is the best UI for a camera ever.
Without a doubt.
I hate being again, like I said, I know, and anybody in the chat's gonna know. I am not even gonna lie. I am a Lumia and a Windows Phone shill. I miss it, I swear. But I just like the fact that when you want to go to audio, you just take that out and just slide that little thing out, and you just got the circles. It was just easier to adjust it. Instead of having the slider at the bottom where you're trying to go and it has like the points where you just like.
It was really good. It was
kind of cool. Yeah, I
thought for a little while.
Yeah, I wish they would port that over. Like I said, I was really hoping that Microsoft would kind of somehow try to capture more of the Windows Phone kind of. I know it's hard because of the UI and the OS. I get it, but I just like the way. I just thought they were slick. I thought the way that the phones did routine tasks was just slick. But it just I kind of miss that. And so it's nice when I fire up the 1520 or my 950 and I get to the camera. I'm like, ooh, that's right.
It is cool. It's without a doubt. It's really cool. No,
yeah, and see, Scoop gets it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got it without a doubt.
Yeah, it's
not even a question.
Yeah, I just
look at this from our buddy Matt.
I know, but I don't know. We got a super sticker. He gave us a sticker. Three L's. Well, I don't know what the L's are. I guess that's not even real money, is it? Just give us like crypto. You just gave us crypto. No, three quid. Thanks, mate. Love you. That's good. So
£1 each.
£1 each. Right. Well, actually,
no.
Jermaine gets $1.50. I get like 25 cents, and then Joe gets the rest. I don't know. Do the math in your head. I'm not exactly.
No, Lenny gets it all.
Yeah, Lenny gets it all. That's okay.
Pay tax on it.
Speaking of that, you should check it out.
Oh shit!
Purposely Pixel. Go to our channel. Look at that. €5. The E's. Right. He gave us some of these. They use euros. I thought the Netherlands. Who knows? I thought they had. Didn't they have money before the euro in the Netherlands? I forgot what it was. What they used
to him, so
the krona. I don't know what they used in the UK.
The
okay.
The euro? Yeah,
before. Okay, yeah.
Gulden.
See,
no, it's actually not bad.
It's like
basically, when people try to say the G in Dutch, of course, what I basically say is after you brush your teeth, you gurgle like your throat. Try that.
You just got a little piece of corn, just trying to move it up the lip. You just kind of push it. Yeah, it's almost like Yiddish, right? Right, it's all good. So, but yeah, and speaking of that, that goes to the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel. Check them out. Lenny does a great job. They got the team over there. They're doing pixel stuff, but not just pixel stuff. They do other stuff, mostly pixel stuff. But you can get a couple of good things on there. Joe is supposed to be doing. I haven't been paying attention. Are you going to do the Nothing Phone review? I still got to do the Duo. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the Duo 2 review.
Yeah, you should do the Duo.
I should do it. It's going to be terrible.
You should do the Duo too.
It's going to be terrible, but I will try. I promise. I have to get working on that. So,
Yeah,
but check out the channel, man. If you aren't subscribed to it. Purposely Pixels YouTube channel. They do a great job. Lenny does a good job. Show him some love. It's a good time. Watch some videos. Get you. And then he did some stuff about the 6A, some cases. In case you're interested in those, he doesn't. I think the ring case. Yeah, he did some good stuff. So yeah, check them out. And they are definitely an awesome host for our podcast, and they're a great group of guys, and we really appreciate their effort and letting us kind of show up here and kind of take over on Sunday afternoons every once in a while. So we like them. Purposely Pixel YouTube, check them out. Anyway, so what else are we doing other than phones? What do we do? We do laptops. We doing anything? What do you got? You got any gear for your work? Did you upgrade a laptop recently? A camera recently? How are you still rocking the same hardware, Jermaine, that you did a year ago? Have there been any upgrades in the shop or anything?
No, I do have a really nice handy table.
Yeah.
It helps me allow to shoot better. Because right now it looks quite small, right?
Right. Uh-oh. It's going to give you some perspective. Oh, look at that. It's got deployable armatures. Ta-da.
See, this is why people come to the YouTube channel.
Right.
Because you don't get this on the audio version.
Yeah,
that's kind
of handy. That's not bad. I like that. Deployable when you need it.
Both ways, so it becomes like this thick. You can just put it to the side somewhere.
Very, very nice. Wow. Well, that's kind of a thing, right? Because you don't have a whole lot of interior space around houses in the Netherlands, so you have to be real space conscious about things, and things have to fold up.
Especially here.
Right. A little bit nice, but that's pretty sharp, man. So did you just buy that at a regular furniture shop, or was that an Amazon thing, or did just
just some Dutch online shop had it. I was like, well, that helps a lot with space,
right?
And it allows me to just sit down and have a conversation. Basically, it's still a struggle because I want to use my 50mm 1.8 lens, and it's really close to not being able to put me in frame.
Right.
Depending on what I do, if I do an unboxing, I want to show more of the table. Got stuff to about here.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's a sacrifice for now.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, at the end of the day, it still gets most of the job done. Might not be optimal, but heck, you know what? That's what you got. That's why you just keep on to the next one. You'll upgrade it. You get a better, cooler table someday. That'd be kind of cool. Or a bigger space. Come in.
Bigger space would be better.
Yeah. Come visit and you can have all the space you want. We got all the space. You can do it.
Well, America has...
We got lots of
space when it comes to their houses.
Yeah, I mean, even my house is like actually, when the girls move out, I'm like, I really have we have to downsize because I'm like, I don't really want to deal with all the space in here. It's just tons of stuff. Luckily, my wife and I aren't big about filling the space with clutter and stuff. I'm not a big stuff maker person buyer. So, yeah, I don't like all that. So, I guess. What do you think, Joe? So, is the Nothing phone worth the price? Would you, if you were making a choice between the 6A and maybe another budget in that neighborhood phone? Now you got the 10T, right? What do you? Yeah. You would still say the Pixel? Just if you did, of those three, let's just make that easy, right? The 10T.
It all depends what you're looking for, because obviously the camera's not as good as the Pixel, I don't think, on the Nothing phone. It's not bad, but it's not as good. But obviously, you're going to get a bigger screen with the Nothing phone. Mm-hmm. You've got the 120 Hz, which is nice on there. Depends if you like the squared look on it. And it really depends if you're going to use the glyph at the back. Because if you're not going to use it, it's pointless.
Right. Well,
I mean, that's the main.
I think it could be usable. Honestly, I would just rather instead of having the glyph system on the back, I just would like to have the LED notification LED. I kind of missed that. I really I wish. I don't understand. It's like, I don't know why was it that hard to put that in. I don't know why companies got away from that. I can understand the removable batteries, and I can kind of understand headphone jacks, and I can kind of understand SD cards. I don't like that. I can kind of get it though. Like, but I don't understand. Like, why would you just ditch the LED? Was it that much of a pain in the butt to get that in there? It's it's so or something. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I understand, like, on the back, it's great when your phone's face down. It's nice to have the glyphs coming up. But I guess you can customize those to, I guess, a different kind of notification. So it would flash a different pattern. Okay.
You can set different glyphs for different contacts. But it all depends if you're screen down or screen up person when you put your phone down. That's a big question to ask yourself before you think about getting it.
Yeah, I would say most people are screen up. Well, at least when I watch people in where I work and stuff, their phones are almost always screen up. Yeah, it's very rarely do I see a screen down, unless they're either making sure that it doesn't, like if it's a dark room, like if you're at a movie, you want to make sure the screen's down, or you turn it off or whatever.
Right, you put it in your pocket mostly.
But really, if you're like in a meeting or if you're sitting there or if you're at a somewhere where, because again, you want to see the, because at least if you had face up, you can kind of look over, glance, see the like on screen, the real quick, always on display might show up and you go, oh, okay, it's, or oh, I need to get that, whatever. So
basically, if you're in a meeting, instead of having a display that comes off on slowly, just one light, you have like a whole disco going on for the people that are watching.
Yeah. Is your phone having a stroke?
Yes.
Yes, it is. That's okay. It's freaking out a little bit. But yeah, and Dan's got, and I didn't fail to mention that Dan does have a nothing phone as well.
Is it making other people have strokes?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a good question. If people have photosensitivity issues, I guess it could. I guess it could trigger that, depending on the lighting.
I don't know if they're bright enough, but I don't know either.
Well, it depends on your lighting. If you're in a
maybe
area,
that's the
well,
right.
Saying that, our demo devices, we've had to turn them off because of that problem.
Oh, because people have either just to make sure you didn't trigger a
photosensitivity issue. But apparently it's just the demo devices, so I don't know if they had an issue.
Oh, okay. And he says it lights differently depending on the ringtone too. Even custom. Okay, well that's kind of. I mean, at least you have some play with it. I think the reason why I would like the Nothing phone is it has more of a, seems like a stock Android, like a real kind of bare bones. Not a lot of stuff in the UI. It's pretty not AOSP.
Pretty clean,
bones, but pretty clean. Yeah, I like it.
It's nice.
Well, I really don't know much more.
Yeah, me too. That's one of the positives on it, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, it's one size won't fit all. One phone won't fit everybody's use case. I don't know. It would just be nice to have all the options. I'd like to have the ability to go take a look at the 10T like at a Best Buy, and have the Nothing phone there, and then have the Pixel 6a, and then knowing that I could just buy one, grab my GSM AT&T SIM, throw it in, and it just works, and it's all great, right? It'd be nice, but I realize that I'm also the outlier. I realize that we, on this conversation and this chat,
that's nice on the Nothing phone.
I mean, I doubt you're the outlier. I think it's more that, simply put, you are limited in what you can do. So people are like, well, if I'm limited, why would I bother?
Right.
So I think a lot of people would think like, oh, can I check that phone out? And well, they're limited to it, and then they say, well, let me just get a Samsung or an Apple then.
Right. Well, look at Joe. Joe says he's, in his experience in the shop, right? He's mentioned the Pixel, or he's mentioned other devices, and people go, well, that's great, but I mean, is it pretty much like that? I mean, they just go, yeah, that sounds great, but you know what? I've had a Samsung. I'm kind of familiar with the brand, right? I'm just kind of used to it. I'd rather just stick to what I know. Same thing with I
often compare like the Pixel or even an Oppo to like the A53 is quite a good seller. And I tell them how you got better options there potentially for you, but they want to stick with Samsung because that's what they know.
Yeah, true.
Literally, that's what
I worked in a shop as well, and I had the same experience. And a lot of people just wanted either Samsung or Apple. And funny enough, the only brand that really was different to that was Huawei. We had a different stand for it when it was still, of course, with Google services. People came in from that for then. Either for Huawei, Samsung, or Apple.
Yeah.
But by now, you have to just kind of showcase the others and then tell, hey, look at this Xiaomi, for instance, or look at this Oppo. They're really good phones and so on. And they're trying now, I don't know if that's with you as well, they're trying now to create like stands that stand out with Oppo, for instance. Where they have like a whole lighting situation for the Oppo.
Absolutely.
You have the same, yeah. So they are trying that to make it stand out more. Xiaomi does that less, I noticed. And also the phones that Xiaomi sells directly in stores is different. I don't know if that's what you like. The really cheap ones, like the 10S, for instance, and so on. Not the good mid-ranges, you know? And I noticed that Oppo is really trying to make that pride statement about, look, I'm a phone. Look at me, you know?
Right.
But without a doubt, when you look at people, they often go to Samsung or Apple.
Yeah.
But still, we have the option.
To that point as well, Jermaine. Samsung and Apple pay more in the stores to have bigger bays. So everyone's got the mentality of having Samsung and Apple. They go into a store and they've got the bigger bays as well.
Yeah, and Apple, I don't know if it's there with you as well, but Apple's
they
horrible to work with.
Because
they want
you have to stick to the rules.
What they want you as well, the store that I work with, is that you actually have gloves on when you work with their phones. You need to make sure it's perfectly clean at their part and everything, and a certain way to have things set up. And we had like accessories close to it, which they didn't like, and the Huawei table was close to it as well, which they hated even more. So yeah, no, Apple is hell to work with when it comes to that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I still to this day
I have to take a picture.
Yeah, and I still to this day I make the argument, and I guess it's is they don't even need to do any of that anymore. Like you don't, all you need is like on the sidewall, just have the new whatever you got, the 14s, right? 1, 2, 3, a little Apple logo with the little picture. Literally, that's all you need. You don't need anything else, and you don't even have to say anything. People are going to walk in and they go, "I want the new whatever. I need the iPhone. I want the brand new iPhone. I don't give a shit. Whatever it is, they don't care." Like they literally do not have to have a marketing push. Everybody knows the 14's coming out. They know what it's going to look like. For the most part, it might be different, especially if it's different, because if that camera is a lot better, then it's like, holy shit, the greatest thing in the world happened. The sensor is much bigger now. Now a camera that they already think is incredible is now even more incredible. So it's like it just did it. So all they just have to sit back and just let it all happen. Like they don't have to ever have a commercial ever, and they'll just crush sales. It's just the way it goes, and they've earned that partly because they make decent devices and they're solid, but also to Jermaine's point, they're super, super aggressive and hyper competitive about the way their brand is. They're very big on optics. And so, and I guess you kind of, that's kind of the way you want to roll, right? You get to have the leverage. So, you get to tell these companies what to do. Do what?
Look at this comment from Dan. I love it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Right.
He's not wrong at all.
Right. Because they're gonna come down on high. Kind of reminds me of like, it's an old movie reference, right? But it's the History of the World Part 1 where Moses comes down. He's got I come down. I have these 15. He drops one of the tablets. 10 commandments. It's like, oh, hear ye. The Lord Jehovah has come down. He just said, you should buy this phone. And then everybody goes, yeah. And then if you want to buy another phone, we'll have an argument about it. Really? I mean, it's like, okay, because the argument drives traffic to their channel and they get to be in the mix. Like I saw what John Ranger put out about Apple, but it's like, who did you think you were? I'm John Ranger. They don't give a shit who you are, dude.
But Apple, that's why
that's how they roll, dude.
Control. They like control. And that's why I don't buy that stuff.
Right. And you knew darn well if you weren't going to play ball, I don't think he came off like he didn't expect that to happen. I think he really did. And I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And this is not a hack because I like John. We had him on the old show and he's a really good dude. I do like his content. But it almost sounded like it's like, can you imagine they would do this? I'm like, yeah, dude. Have you been paying fucking attention to Apple's jam for a decade? That's how they roll, dude. That's how they operate, man. That's how they are.
But I think it's a horrible take from Apple there. I don't think anything should be put on John.
No, not at all. But I mean, here's the thing: do you think Cupertino gives a shit?
Oh no, they don't. They don't.
It's like pissing in a thunderstorm. They don't even care anymore.
Look at what they did with Daniel from Son of Tech as well.
Yeah,
really trying to get him in, and then no, never mind. And then promises and all that stuff, and they wanted to want him to, of course, sing their praises, not do the concepts anymore. And look, they came even after me. Apple is all about control.
Right. And again, I mean, and I always tell people, it's like, yeah, I don't exactly agree with it. Yeah, I think it's a little, the tactics are heavy-handed. But that's how it goes.
Do
man.
something about it,
right?
Instead of allowing it.
But you're not now. It's we're way past all that. So what you do is you get right, and right, and so basically what it comes down to, if you're getting to that channel, if you're getting to that space, and you want to do the Apple stuff, you got to play ball, and that's just the way it's going to go. And you can call it selling out, but it's like, but that's the way the track lays, man. You got to go with it.
I would never do that because I'm far too stubborn for that, and I don't let anyone control what I do. But
right, and I understand it, but yeah, and exactly me, I would never, like I said, I would, if I were a phone reviewer, which I'm not going to be, I would not review Apple products because I just don't want to go down that path. I just don't. It's not my thing.
A reviewer,
right? And then so and like I said, and it's whatever. I mean, again, I don't, and this is not a commentary on how John should responded, what he did or said. It's not. I'm not even being critical of him, if anything. But it's just like I kind of watched the video thinking, well. Yeah, dude. Well, if you're going to come in,
I'm not surprised about.
If you're going to come in against Apple, they're going to basically cut you out. That's how it's going to go. Sorry,
they don't like honesty.
Right. I guarantee, and here's the thing: I guarantee if Lou or MKBHD or anybody came at him like that and really throw them, I guarantee they'd shit on them too.
I mean, didn't Lou already have problems with Apple because of the
right? Yeah, the Bengate.
I mean, no, he was lightly pushing it, and
right, and that's what I'm saying. But I mean, even Marquez, and he's actually like on Joe Rogan Experience, so he's starting to do the things that people don't do, is transcend the tech space, right? He's actually visible,
which he should,
which is fine. He's fantastic. I mean, I do like him a lot, and I think he does great content. And I mean, it's a little different. It's changed. It's evolved into something that's a little bit more infotainment to me, but that's fine. Mm-hmm. But even if he came in like that, they'd smoke him too. Like I don't think the Apple.
They don't give it him.
Yeah, Tim would probably go by his house. He'd probably call him on the phone. Hey, Marquez, I saw your video. It's fucking bullshit. You need to ditch that, dude. I guarantee you that would be a call that would come from their PR.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and you'd have to like backtrack it. So with him, he's got to play ball. And I get it, man. It's like you got to follow the company line because it's fine.
But I do wonder then, okay, so for instance, if you do have that kind of take, right, you do have that contact with Apple, you kind of have to wonder about your integrity there. I feel like if you step over to that bounce where you cannot be critical about the device at all, and if you are, you will lose that relation. Then I think you should better lose that relation because you're a reviewer, right? Your job as YouTube reviewer is to review a device and not sell it. And if you cannot be critical, you're selling it. You're not reviewing it at all anymore. Right. And I feel like then you're going over that bound that you should be as a YouTube phone reviewer.
Well, I agree. And that's why my argument would be that Marquez has kind of transcended past reviewers. He's past reviews now. It's really not that anymore. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So I agree. I'm real hesitant to question people's integrity because it get people get.
It's a hard question to ask.
And also, it's not my place to say whether or not I feel that Marquez is being honest or not. I mean, I can make my own opinion. However, but I think what he's doing is he's not like. I know Flossie Carter won't do that because he's still reviewing phones. Like if it's trash, he'll tell you it's trash. He doesn't give a flying shit about it. That's the difference. Marquez is past that now. And so I think if he were still reviewing phones, I think, yeah, you're right, Jermaine. I think that you can make an argument that he's been
but the question is
not playing straight.
You are seeing him that way. Do others as well? Do the normal viewers of his see him that way as well? Because they are saying, great review, right? Mm-hmm. So the normal viewer of his probably doesn't see him the way that you are seeing him.
Oh, I'm sure. And I think you got a couple of different camps, right? You got people like me who can see it for what it is and realize that it's still entertainment, and there is some value there. But there's people who drink the Kool-Aid and just think Marquez basically could, basically run up there and, show off a golf club, and it's the greatest golf club ever, right? They can't really see the forest for the trees. And then there's people who just don't like him in general, just because they think he's a sellout, a shill, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, but again, like I said, I don't think they care because I think the people who are watching him who don't see it don't want to. They are, but I don't know how many people make a real buying decision based on just his videos. And if they watch, do they watch anybody else? I guess that's be the question, right? The typical Marquez viewer that's looking at, is he going to be watching somebody else to get more of a, okay, this is great. However, I would have more of a critical look at it. Or do they just watch
Maybe
it for
like
what it is.
1 or 2% will
Yeah,
actually.
And sometimes it's just cool just to sit back and just enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah.
can we just do that, folks? Can we just like see John Rettinger's content and see these people putting out stuff that basically not costing you a whole lot of nothing if you don't have a Prime subscription, and just enjoy it for what it is? I swear, it's like going to movies with people. They want to dissect every movie. I'm like, who gives a shit? Just sit here for an hour and a half, decompress, relax, take a break, and
Well,
just
if
don't
it's
sit
shit,
there.
I'm gonna say it's shit.
But yeah, everybody's just like, I mean, it's like sometimes you can just sit back and just, like it for what it is. If you really want a critical review and you really want to know how something works, you got Flossie. There's a whole bunch of other people like that. Somebody mentioned Dave too. There's people that do like battery tests, like David Kogan, right? He'll take a phone, like watch something that's a little bit more kind of like how you would use a device, and then kind of have. But I don't. And honestly, to be honest with you, Jermaine, I don't give a shit why people watch his shit. He just watch it, just enjoy it. If you do, great. If you don't like it, that's cool too. I don't.
True.
You don't have to like justify it to anybody really. But you know what? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's about it's more. Yeah. Next time, mute your mic at Goob. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. I'm just giving you trouble. Anyway, so like I said, these are not criticisms on them. It's fine. Like I said, for me, we do what we do just because we like doing it. But there is a different component there. There is a monetizing component. There is now Marquez is a business now. He's a brand.
Without a doubt.
We're past all of him just pumping out a couple of videos and worrying about how his metrics are. I don't even think he even pays attention to it anymore. But he's earned that through the work, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So really, at that point, when you're in that game, then now it becomes what do you really value, right? And do you really want to bite the hand that feeds you? And it's more of a brand now, so it's fine. I mean, it's the evolution of people. You could say the same thing about musicians, right? Selling out, right? They get to you heard your favorite band, then they have a bunch of stuff and it's all good. And then they change their thing because they have to kind of walk that path with a record label, right? And so now people are all pissed off. Like, you guys are sold out to the big bird. It's the same argument you can make about movies or any other kind of entertainment, right? It just really kind of depends on how you want to approach it.
You're not wrong.
No.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and that's a yes. And I know I should chill. And nobody dissed toasted ravioli because if you had toasted ravioli, you wouldn't diss it because it's awesome. Just so we're clear, we should get. And if Jermaine did come to St. Louis, I'm not pulling a Roger.
Yeah, I feel like I need to try it.
Yeah. Dude.
I come with what?
You need to come to St. Louis, come to where I live, and I will make sure you'll get it all. You're not gonna miss the fish and chips here, buddy. We're gonna take you. We're gonna do the tour. We'll take you to some places that do music. We're gonna take you to get the toasted raviolis. I'm gonna make sure. There's no way you would come here and you go home and go, "Fuck, man, I didn't get the TRs. What the hell?" Will not happen, my friend. No way. We will make sure you are taken care of.
Did you hear that, Roger?
Yeah.
If you.
Just saying.
He was not so long ago. He was in the Netherlands.
Oh, he's disappeared all of a sudden.
I hear that story. I'm like, that stuns me. I'm like, man, of all the things that you would think just would kind of naturally just occur, that would be one of the things. It just kind of slipped through the cracks. Yeah. So
yeah, it's true.
It's okay. So we take you out. So yes,
lads' night out in St. Louis.
Right.
Now, without a doubt, if I ever go to America, without a doubt, I have to, of course, go to the Star of Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Totally. I've never been to Hollywood. I've never been there either. I'd like to check that out. Hell, we'll meet you up there.
Good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Music, ravioli, and lots of blues. Yeah, St. Louis is a pretty good music city. I have to admit. A little high on crime, but
yeah, also live at Wembley.
Do what?
I saw MJ live at Wembley, the old Wembley.
Oh, wow.
You saw him there live?
Yeah, the old Wembley. I was a lot younger, obviously. But
so
yeah, it was great.
Pretty wild, huh? Pretty awesome concert?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's so good. He's such an entertainer, Bernie. So,
absolutely. Well, that's cool. So we are unbelievably. I know it's crazy, right? We're at the 58-hour mark, so we have almost had 1 full hour of Jermaine's timing. He's still hanging in there and surviving, although he went off camera and I think he just died.
I'm just really jealous that he saw Michael Jackson.
Oh, I know. I would have loved to see that live. That would have been fantastic. I have to admit,
it was awesome.
Yeah. So
just rub it in more, man.
I think he was just letting you know that he did actually get to see him live, and it was exactly what you would expect it to be, a fantastic, awesome show, right? So,
without it, I don't even doubt that.
Yeah,
I don't even doubt that. That's definitely a performance that I would have loved to see. And basically, I'm from the age where I should have, but history with my life and whatnot that made it very difficult to do stuff like that. But without a doubt, yeah, I hate that I never seen him live, especially around the bad era and so on.
Oh yeah,
because later, with history and so on, he still had problems with his lungs and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he had far less energy than he had around the bad era. He had it before as well, but just it didn't affect him as much. But man, would have loved to seen him live.
Look at Dan
stirring.
All right,
you're gonna get demonetized. Fuck you, Dan.
There you go, folks. You're talking about me coming out swinging.
And then Dan comes out.
No, Dan's coming out. He threw a haymaker. Holy cow. Yeah, he's just goofing on us. Okay, well, I figured as much, but Dan's going to start a full-on ass riot with that kind of stuff. Boy, Jermaine's ready to come out of that screen.
Yeah, he's fishing rod out.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm going to sit like Dan.
Yeah. Jermaine's going to be throwing hands in her minute. Okay. Well, that's going to probably do it for our show. We've already tied up Jermaine long enough with an hour of us bullshit and me ranting about content creators, of which I can never be one because I don't really care. So the fact that he's still hanging out here after an hour of our bullshit is pretty fantastic. So, my friend, as always,
an hour of my bullshit as well, so it doesn't matter.
That's really not bullshit. You're like one of our best. I just love having you on because you're always so calm and so thoughtful about the way you talk. And me, I'm just kind of a half-ass maniac. So it's always nice having you on. And
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and you were always, as always, like I said to any of the people that come on, you're a friend of the show. Please come on anytime you want, share, and hopefully, whatever you can't talk about now, hopefully that'll be coming out fairly soon.
Let me show you, okay? Let me just.
It's
a secret phone.
Oh, now I'm excited.
It's an exclusive.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Exclusive here, right here.
Right here.
So make sure that you subscribe, of course.
Right.
For this exclusive.
Right. Get in on that. First time ever, right here, buddy. And you saw it here first. You saw it here first on the Nomad Tech Project. Oh, it's an old phone. Oh, okay. Well, then that's the first.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's the first time you've seen it in a while.
On this channel. It's the first time.
Yeah, it's first time in the channel.
Probably the first time you ever seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, fantastic. It's cool. I like it. I do still miss slider key. I still miss keyboards.
Just playing around with this is just so
right. I'm surprised actually if you've had it for a while that you haven't like worn the entire thing. We're just kind of goes
I know. I actually bought this recently from eBay because I wanted to do a video on it because it has a 3 times optical zoom. Well, 3 times optical inner zoom they call it.
Ooh.
It has a xenon flash.
Yeah.
Actually, when it comes to the camera itself, it's not. It's taking forever, but it's not horrible.
Right. The Xenon Flash. The only other phone I knew they had one was the 1020.
Yeah. It's just a cool device, and of course, when you want to play with it, you also have this.
The great fidget.
Yeah.
Fidget.
Absolutely. So we are looking forward to that content whenever that does release. And we're looking forward to always your content, Jermaine. He's got his channel. Check him out. We're going to put show notes in there. We'll make sure that if anybody's paid attention and they'd like to go there and throw some channel subs to him, we would appreciate that. Get some
almost at 1,000.
There you go. See, almost at 1,000. I think we have like 6 that people who have actually gone to the Purposely Pixel show and subscribed because of our channel, because of our show. I think maybe
how much are you guys on right now?
Maybe 10. I think they're like 6,500 something. I don't know.
Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah,
nice.
we've driven about 12 of those people. Right, Joe? What do you think? Maybe 10, 12-ish, probably?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what?
Just
think about it. Remember, until we started, there were 0 people we'd push there. So 10
this
people
is very true.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? Definitely starting at 0. Anyway, so
everyone counts.
So, Joe, anything else we want to cover before we let you go? We don't have a guest next week. I don't think. No, I'm pretty sure we do. Oh, sorry. We don't have a guest next week. We're not going to have a show next week. Well, we could. I am going to be out of town. I am going on a trip with the family.
Maybe you put Roger on, who's now back all of a sudden after, we mentioned.
Yeah, I know. He bitched out. You see him like ducking? Whatever, man.
He bitched out for sure.
Right at the end. What a chump. God.
Oh, Extreme Skins, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's saying that.
Extreme Skins. That's right. Get you some skinins and
someone. I said someone. Aditya. I mean, come on.
Extremeskins.co.uk. Get you some Extreme Skins.
Look,
detail.
because of doing that.
For the win.
Straight away ready for the fight.
Know. Whatever. Detail, shut up. Oh, we got to have a detail. Not next week, though. But yeah, extremeskins.co.uk.
Yeah, we're going to have him on probably September at some point.
Yeah. You have always got good deals.
Yeah, our sponsor, you fools.
Rights of colors.
And you need to, and if someone super chats you like 5 watcher needs to be on the next show as well, or not the next, but he needs to be, but only if someone donates 5 or something like that, right?
We're going to get Roger on at some point because he's extremely busy. He's got lots of stuff. Yeah. Stuff's going on. But
someone donated 5, so he has to be on.
Yeah, that's it. Roger, got to come on.
Yeah, tough shit. It's not confirmed.
Oh,
yeah. There you go. Roger got to come on. So tough shit. If you were ducking us, you ain't duck us for that much longer. So that's it. So that's good. So check them out. Extremeskins.co.uk. Get some skins, different colors. If you put them on wrong, they'll make fun of you. They're good dudes, man, and ladies. It's good company. Support them. Give them
Have
some love.
Have a good night, everyone, or day. It depends on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Take care of them. Like I said. So yeah, check them out. We'll also put links in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thanks for reminding us, because we appreciate all of the love from everybody. Johan and Shark and DT and Dan's in the chat, and Roger kind of, I guess.
So
Scoop earlier. So yeah, everybody that came through the chat, always love you guys coming through and popping in comments and keeping us real. And of course, reminding us when we drop the ball and sponsor stuff. So yeah, you know what?
Then I know it was.
Hey, you know what? We can't be everything, right? Even Babe Ruth went 0-for-5 once in a while. So give us a break, right? We're not.
So we've done well. Watching them every week. We've done really well.
Yeah, we done good.
Yeah.
We could do better. We always root for improvement. Always root for improvement. All right, for myself, for Joe Hickey, for Jermaine, the content creator, that is the show. Come back not next Sunday, although I might remember when the last show was on vacation and I did it from like the thing. I might still be able to do the show, but it might not look.
Yeah,
we might be able to. If not, we'll see.
Where are you going?
Hot Springs, Arkansas. A little resort kind of thing. Parents, my in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary. So they're going to have a whole thing. We're going to go there and just kind of vibe. I am going to be drinking quite copiously. So if I do get on
that's going to be, then you have to stream.
Yeah, if I stream, it's going to get a little dicey. Right. So I'm going to play some golf, just kind of relax, but I'm going to be there from Saturday to like Wednesday-ish. So we'll talk more about it. So we may have a show, we may not, but if not, we'll be back to Sunday after that, bringing you live content and stuff you can download and listen to after the show. Don't forget, there is a podcast. You should download it, listen to it, put it in your ear holes, tell other people to put it in their ear holes, and let them know that we're awesome. Or not. Maybe you don't have to. Just saying. We're not telling you what to do. Be nice if you would. So that's it for myself, for Joe, for Jermaine. Have a good week. Enjoy your tech. Stay cool. It's warm where you are. We'll catch you guys in the next show. We love you guys. Take care. Have a good week, folks.
Bye.